All right, and we are live. So welcome to another episode of AI Marketing for Remodelers and Builders. If you don't know us, I'm Kai. I'm our lead consultant, everything AI marketing strategy. And with me is Spencer, our founder and CEO of Builder Funnel. Spencer, we have got a very connected episode this week.
I see what you did
Integrations.
there, Kai. Yeah.
Listen, I feel like it's been a couple weeks, but I was like, let me think of something fun. Super connected episode today. So we're gonna be talking all about ChatGPT's apps, integrations, and what that means for you. So if you watch or listen to this episode, you're gonna learn all about what ChatGPT integrations are available, how to connect those tools to your ChatGPT, as well as how well those integrations actually work. Which, honestly, Spencer, in this whole AI era, there's so many cool things out there. I don't know if you've been following the new agent that's like Moltbot or Claudebot. Super cool, but it rarely works. But when it does work, it's super sci-fi.
It's like I've just been trying to remember the phrase you keep using, like this is the worst it'll ever be. So it's like if you can at least see when something does work how it should, you're like, well, soon enough it will always be like this.
1,000%, 1,000%. So let's just dive into it. So when we did our ChatGPT episode a couple weeks ago, these all used to be called connectors, pretty much. They had connectors and apps. And essentially, connectors were a one-way connection. So you could connect to, for example, your HubSpot and pull information, but you couldn't have that two-way connection where you put information back into HubSpot. To be honest with you, it's still the same thing. So the connectors, they just changed them all to apps now, Spencer, but there's still only some one-way connections. So when you're looking through all these different apps, you'll have to see like which ones you can actually talk to and it like bring back information. So for example, if we're using Lovable, that's something where I can pull information from Lovable, but also give information to Lovable to build apps, right? But for example, like in Asana, I can't have ChatGPT update my task for me, move things around. But to make it easier, they tried to separate those. Like two-way connections are apps, one-way connections are connectors. They just call them all apps now, essentially.
Yeah. I'm excited because the one way is super powerful, but as soon as we get to two-way stuff, it's gonna be pretty wild. And just being able to see that roadmap seems pretty obvious that we'll get there.
1,000%. So a couple of things here. So how you get there, I showed it off, but I didn't really talk through it. So you're going to open your ChatGPT. You're going to click on apps right here, and it'll bring you to this app store, essentially. And Spencer, we talk about ads here. Very good opportunity for some ads. Maybe Canva's one of those tests, Zillow, some big companies here. But basically, you can scroll through here. There's a search bar up here as well. But really, you could look through the feature, the lifestyle, the productivity sections, and these are all the apps available. So some big ones here: Photoshop, Canva, Lovable. Which if you don't know Lovable, that's how you can basically code like websites and tools. Figma, Airtable, which is like you can like hold a bunch of data in there. HubSpot's a big one. But you could see on my screen tons. I didn't even mention like Google Drive, Google Calendar. They even have like TurboTax on here, MailChimp. So some really cool ones. Notion, tons of different integrations you can play with. I'm sure anybody watching or listening, Spencer, probably has at least like 2 to 3 tools they're already using where they could easily test these with ChatGPT.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like you said, they're building out more and more, but yeah, I mean, already, the Google Drive or whatever you're using to store files, pulling information or pushing there, calendars, project management, it's all coming.
Everything. So super cool stuff. So
Yeah,
what I want
Zoom.
to show off, even Zoom. There's like some big ones I missed. Pipedrive. I know a lot of clients use Pipedrive for us before they move to HubSpot. So, but yeah, really though, this is all cool. But how easy is it to actually connect these tools to what you're doing? And I'll actually show you step by step. It's pretty easy. So one, you're just going to find a tool that you want to use. So let's say I want to use, I've already connected a lot that we're going to test here. Let's connect Zoom. And so we're going to click on connect here. And it basically just opens up a new window. And I want to if you see this, toggle this on. You basically want to allow your ChatGPT to reference relevant chats and memories when sharing data with Zoom. So for example, you could say, based on your memories of how I'm trying to improve on my sales calls, can you look through my Zoom transcripts and see like where I can improve or where I applied your lessons? So that way you'll be able to use your memories that you've already had, so other previous conversations you've already had with the tools you're going to connect. You're going to click continue here, and all it's going to do is just going to take you to the Zoom login page. I'm hoping I'm not going to leak anything here. I don't think I will. But then you just want to allow it through their little integrator window, and you're done. So it probably takes a minute, especially if you have everything already connected with Google like I do. I share all my data with the beast. If you have it all connected there, it's super easy. Probably 3 clicks, and then you're connected. And then you can go into your chat, and you just click at Zoom. And there it is. It's pretty easy, Spencer. Pretty easy.
Too easy. Too easy. Yeah.
Too easy to share all of your data, but that's what they want you to do.
If they made one thing easy, it's definitely that.
It's to share your data. Now, one thing I do really suggest is I don't want you to go into these tools and act like you can do every single thing through them. What I want you to do is whenever you're downloading one of these apps, I want you to click into this and actually read this and look at the images that they give. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more here. But actually look at what are some of the use cases they give. So we see here, you can recap meetings. And you can also, looks like you can pull like specific clips and parts of a transcript in a meeting from Zoom as well. So I would only assume there's things that you can obviously test as well. And they sometimes, not all of them, they do a pretty good job of also putting what you can do in the description as well. But there's some apps where you think you should be able to do that, and it actually can't do that. So like, for example, when talking with Asana, the last time I used it, I thought I would be able to update my tasks, add new tasks from ChatGPT, have ChatGPT create me a board, and said, no, I can just pull that information from Asana. So there are limits to these. So to avoid your disappointment, make sure you read, look at the use cases, and just know if there's not a use case that you want to use and you don't see it here, test it for sure, but you may not be able to do that through these apps at the current time.
Yeah, and I would imagine this will be a process of like checking back every few weeks or months because, yeah, new use cases, new abilities I'm sure all these apps are working on building that stuff out.
Yeah, there's huge incentive for a lot of these companies. Like, so let's say there's a specific use case I want to use with Zoom. Huge incentive for them to want to build that in because more and more people are using these AI tools, right? So, big one is like usually like on their socials. So think like Zoom. If it's a bigger company, sometimes like OpenAI, ChatGPT, they'll announce it too, but they usually announce any big integrations or changes to integrations as well. So that's a good way to keep up with what's been changing with the integration and what it can do. Awesome. So now we're going to test out some of our own, Spencer.
Do it.
First one I want to test is going to be Asana. So if you don't know what Asana is, it's a project management platform. That's what Builder Funnel uses to keep track of all of our client projects, our tasks, all of that. So all I'm going to ask here is, what's on my plate for next week? And you could assume whether you use Asana or another project management platform, tons of benefits to this, right? I'm already in here. I can chat with my tasks. Essentially, I could see like really quickly, like what's up next. You can see here, I have some content stack outlines to make. I need to update some brand metrics on Monday. I need to schedule a meeting with one of our strategists. And then we have another AI podcast. Well, the way we format it, just for technicality.
24, yeah.
Just the way we format it, technically, I put the due date as when it's being posted. So that's what we're recording right now, Spencer. But usually on this date, we'll probably have a podcast or something like that. But pretty cool here. So I can easily see. It also links the tasks for me as well. So I can go in. The way I'm sharing this right now, I don't want to mess it up. I'm only sharing my Chrome tab, so you guys won't be able to see it. But it links all of my Asana tasks here as well. So I can go straight to them.
Yeah, it'll be cool. And if JobTrade gets an integration or, Builder Trend Co-Construct, I know they're fairly niche, but that would be super cool to see.
Be really cool, yeah. And something else too, Spencer, this kind of goes back to talking about that operating system, because some people may be watching or listening and be like, okay, well, you could just have another tab up that has Asana. You're not living in the future, guys. Come on.
We're trying, man. We're trying. I still have a bunch of tabs up, so.
but really, the majority of times when I'm looking at a task, I'll probably just have Asana up, right? But this is a great way to not only see my task, but now I'll say, I'm looking to start batching my work. What are some tasks I should do? Oh my gosh.
You got this.
In the
Typing and
same,
talking is harder.
it actually is, all right. And you know what? If people are watching and they're like, that's kind of crazy. He can't spell. I want you to try it. All right. And here, so what I did here was like, let's say I want to start doing some batch work, Spencer. So I want AI to identify out of these 7 tasks, which ones are similar enough where I'm using the same type of brain. Completely stole that just from there. Using the same part of my brain, the same skills in the same batch, right? And that's a big part of batch work is you're not context switching, which makes you faster at those tasks. So for example, if I'm already like in like ad strategy or like marketing strategy mode, anything with that should just be in that same block, right? And then I wouldn't want to switch to scheduling meetings or responding to emails. That makes sense. So you see here, super cool stuff. So gives me some tasks here. It does not look like it actually pulled a lot of like my specific tasks, which is what I wanted. But maybe it just gave groups. Because looking at these, oh, here we go. Yes. So
a
map
little more
my
broad.
actual Asana tasks.
Yeah, it gave you like a weekly layout that was a little more broad, but it was so that's helpful. It's giving you the framework of how to think about it first. Yeah,
It is. So let's see here. I don't think it did it again. That's very weird. Do multiple. It's staying broad.
Let's see at the bottom if it gets us to something.
Power move. Remove task to start with the batch type.
I wonder if it
Could it not like
know which bucket? It didn't think hard enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's try the thinking. No, I want you to only batch these tasks I have for next week. Please. I still want to be nice, even though it's not getting to where we want.
Maybe you didn't say please last time. Please think about this with your brain.
For the people that were listening, you didn't see that. I ended up changing the model. I just knocked the model 1 level up to thinking. To hopefully, it was on the auto, so it was probably just using instant. It wasn't thinking hard enough. So I'm gonna have it basically take some time to look at my tasks and try to bucket these together. But regardless here, right? And listen, we're pretty transparent. Not all these integrations work perfectly all the time. It's really cool that it can pull that information from our Asana, and there's probably other use cases that does really well. I just have a knack, Spencer, for picking the one use case that usually breaks the thing. And so we'll see. It's his last chance. Got it. Only 7 tasks. Batch A. It didn't do it. There's something there that's not having it pull the exact task. And it's even saying, I can do the batching for you with the actual task names. But I think we're going to just stop it here. I think this one was a fail from this use case. So for the Asana one, pretty good at pulling your task and easily seeing those. Asking questions about those tasks, maybe something that Asana needs to work on.
So the one thing though that would be interesting, and we obviously don't have time to go into it today, but it did recommend how to maybe tag the task. So I wonder if now that there's this framework, I've got deep thinking is strategy and et cetera, and then quick tasks. If in Asana moving forward you had them tagged as like deep work
bracket
or strategy, maybe it would do better moving forward. So that could be a way that just like learning how the integration works and pulls, we could get there with more effort. Yeah.
And I'm curious, it only looks like it's pulling like the assignee and the due date, but I wonder if I add another property to this, like you said, could I tag it like that? Or would I have to manually go in here and change the tag names? Something to play around with. But overall, I'd say 5 out of 10 integration. All right. There's a lot to still go there, but pretty cool. I can pull my tasks. All right. The next one I want to try out here is going to be Canva. So, Spencer, I don't have a design eye. I'm sure you know this. I'm more of a technical guy myself.
Yeah, we got 2 people without design on this call.
So this thing's going to make the worst graphic ever, and Spencer and I are going to be jumping up and down saying it's great. Yeah. So this one, the Canva app here, it says that ChatGPT can make graphics through Canva for you. So I'm like, let's try it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say make some marketing materials. let's say make a social post template for my company builder funnel. Make it cool. All right. And then I'm gonna link.
Flawless there in your prompt.
That's how you gotta do it, Spencer. That's how you
Make
prompt
it cool.
nowadays.
Well, now we can really test if it knows what cool is, you know? Is it up with the times?
I would be very surprised since it couldn't even rebatch my tasks for me when they were right there. But if it does, that's cool. So you see here, using this Canva one, it says generate social media post template. It says this create a modern Instagram template for builder funnel with headline, value statement, logo, call to action. So you're just gonna click generate design. And so now it's gonna sit here and it's gonna generate. The last time I tested this, I would say it almost looked like it just pulled the Canva templates itself. So again, it feels like we're like in a really cool spot where we can connect so many tools. The next step throughout the year is going to have these tools actually be better at the tasks you want them to do. But still good to see the possibilities. And you made a good point earlier. This is the worst it will ever be. So we'll see here. It's still working.
Yeah. Maybe by Q3 we can do an update on these same tools and kind of do a test. Oh, it puts stuff in there.
It did. So what I was hoping for was since linking the website, it would look at the website and it would find our colors.
Wow. Kind of rough.
Yeah. Even for our non-design eye, I think we could even say, and you could even say at really great site, it keeps the template. Working with Builder Funnel has transformed our marketing strategy. Marketing director at Builder Funnel. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah.
You're supposed to say that.
Alex, he was like, "Hey, Chad, I need a little. I'm trying to get a raise here." Yeah, we don't have an Alex, by the way.
Yeah, we don't. we don't. Surprisingly, we have two Tylers, but not an Alex. All right, so what I'm going to say is I'm going to turn up the model 1. So I think that's how we're going to follow this. Is I'm going to turn up the model, turn it to thinking, and see how it does here. So I'm going to say, can you use a darker? I would pull our actual hex code, but I don't feel like that right now. So I'm going to say, can you use a darker green color and remove the template? No, actually, and add our website link to the template. And I'm just going to throw in our website again, because maybe the thinking model will actually go and look at it here.
Yeah, it's funny. It had a lot of blues and then pink. Yeah. I don't know where that one came from in that second one.
Let me look here. Like the lighter. Very interesting. Grow. I can barely see it. It doesn't want me to see it. Get leads. Build more. Grow fast. Simple copy. Yeah. Builder funnel event. Learn the latest in marketing strategies.
Marketing. Yeah.
Marketing. Funny enough, like I feel like I would rather just generate like my own image within ChatGPT.
I feel like we did that a couple weeks ago, and that worked really well, honestly.
Yeah. So let's create the design actually. So right now, I don't know. I don't even know if Canva will get up to a 5. And this was funny enough, Spencer. This was the one that they were pushing really hard. So I'm surprised it doesn't work as well.
Well, it's kind of funny too, because if you can't, can you push this back to Canva?
So that's actually a really good point. I don't see. Oh, open to Canva right here in the top right.
Okay.
So there you go.
So then you could modify. Okay, because I was going to say, then really, what's the point? You might as well just ask ChatGPT for an image, grab the image and go. But yeah, if you can get it 80% of the way there, then you can make some final tweaks. That's kind of nice. But obviously, we're not even 80%. We're at like 10% right now. So
percent. Like a good point too. While this is generating up, I was reading like a really good LinkedIn post the other day, and somebody was basically like AI is not like your like perfect button. Like you don't just like click it and it's done instantly. We talk about that all the time where it's going to get you 80% of the way there, but really the main goal with AI should be getting to your desired result faster. And even if that's minutes to start, that's still great. If that saves you 10 minutes over a year, I'm not gonna do math on the fly like that, Spencer, but that's a lot of time saved. So just think about it like that. Like, while this may, obviously, we wish this was better, but even if it got us something that we could half use, it's gonna start editing those apparently. Even if it got us something that we could half use, that would be good after we worked out the kinks and worked out like where it's losing track here. But right now, I would be honest, I would just make this myself or ask our obviously creative director to make it too.
Yeah, and I think we've talked about this in the past too. Obviously, the time savings is nice, but just a lot of people are better at taking something and building off of it or editing. Sometimes that initial like blank slate is tough to start from, and so
Mm,
even if it just gets you there mentally, I think it frees up some brain space too.
1,000%. I think this might take too long for us, so I might just say answer now. I'll kind of look at what it's saying here. I'm just gonna say answer now. I don't have a lot of hope, and I think it was gonna sit there and kind of just keep going in a circle. Yep, totally doable. And it didn't do it because I stopped it.
It
So
didn't do
I
it.
would
Yeah.
say Canva was a fail for right now, Spencer.
Yeah,
Maybe if
I
we had
agree.
time to sit here, maybe I should have used the thinking mode to start off. But kind of what I told you earlier, it just looks like it really just pulled the templates themselves and then threw in a little, like start a little bit with us. But anyway, really wish the Canva one was better, but still
We
cool.
One thing I was wondering about too, could you ask ChatGPT to generate an image, and then could you connect Canva for the next step and say, can you push
Oh,
this
that's a
into
good
Canva?
one.
Can you generate this image in Canva so then you can edit it? Maybe the initial creation, it's like throwing it off because Canva has so many
Mm.
basic templates. But if you're like, ooh, I kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of wondering if we do it, start here and then tack on the integration more just to take it the final 20%.
Yeah, actually, that's very worth it to test because maybe we were thinking of it wrong here. We're gonna put in create image, and then we're just gonna do auto here as well, just so we can actually see if it can do it or not. And even then, even if it doesn't have the direct, oh, that's interesting. It didn't even make
But
the.
we need to ask for a graphic. Can you yeah.
Yeah. Generate a social media graphic template. Yes, I did give Builder Funnel 3 ends, but hopefully it understands that.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
not what it
see.
is. But that's a really good point here. Because yeah, maybe I was thinking of that integration wrong. Like, maybe you generate the image first, and the real power is pushing it back to Canva or using the Canva app to create it one for one. Could be possible here. A couple other ones too while we're waiting as well. We should probably decide which one we want to test next, Spencer. So I have Google Drive, HubSpot, Slack, and Fireflies on the list. Which one should we do after this one?
I feel like Google Drive is probably where more remodelers and builders are using, probably less Slack. Fireflies is similar to Zoom in that it's like call recording, so I think that's a good one. HubSpot, obviously, depending on your CRM. I say we go Google Drive or Fireflies next.
Let's do Google Drive. You see here
Yeah,
our
that's
graphic.
coming
I
in.
mean, it has the colors wrong, but you can
Yeah,
already see this actually looks much better. This is actually what we wanted. Looks a little
yeah.
dated, but that's all right. So you can actually edit this image in Adobe Acrobat, but
Mm.
not crop, remove background, adjust colors, in like
So,
Adobe Acrobat by Adobe
so
Express.
if you go down and connect Canva in the chat,
Mm-hmm.
can then we say, can you create this in Canva? Or maybe I'm thinking about it wrong.
No, I mean logically that makes sense. So let's see if it can pull that here. So it did connect with Canva here. So talking back and forth with Canva.
Yeah, because the goal here would be, okay, maybe we like the image generation better in ChatGPT. You can have it think
Mm-hmm.
for a while. You can prompt it a few times. You get it pretty good, then connect it with Canva and say, can you create this now in Canva? Then you just pop over to Canva. Then you can edit it. It's a template you can use forever. Because sometimes
Yeah.
reprompting an image it will like change some other
Makes it
elements. And you're like, no, no, no,
weird.
I wanted all of that the same. I just wanted this one change. But Canva, you'd be able to do that super easy.
Yeah, yeah. And since we're spending so much time on the Canva integration here, and no, it changed it
No,
completely.
nope. All right. Well, yep, fail. We'll chalk that up
Sorry,
to.
Canva fail. But really, tons of cool things that could be possible. Hopefully, maybe they're reading this or maybe they're seeing this somehow. But I think that if they were to focus on more of the workflow that you talked about, so taking image from ChatGPT and be able to edit that in Canva very easily, that could be pretty sweet.
Yeah. Well, we'll come
All right.
back in a couple quarters and see how it's doing.
But yeah. All right, let's do Google Drive here. So Google Drive, we have tons, Spencer, we have tons of drives, folders, docs within Google Drive. So let's try to find can you help me find the intake form, which is what we have clients fill out when they sign with us and let's do Trinity Homes AZ, because they're on the, not Homes, Trinity Homes AZ, because they're top of mind right now. To be honest with you, Spencer, we have so much in our Google Drive. I'd be very surprised if it can find this. Well, that's weird. You do have access to the tool. Is this going to be a bust of an episode, Spencer?
I don't know,
It's not,
man. Yeah.
You do have access.
What you're learning today is that these connectors connect. Do they help you? No, not yet.
I will say the title of the episode is We Connected ChatGPT into Our Other Tools. Here's what's changed. I never promised anybody that everything would work. Even though the Drive Systems Manager, I double checked the available resources. There isn't called a drivable search. I can search Drive. Okay, so here's a really good example of, let's go back and see what people were doing in this. We're just going to use one of their use cases straight up. So really, it's more so about creating summaries,
not looking through your drive. So you might have to call out the file and say, like, summarize this intake form or something like that.
Can you summarize this? Well, also too, so I was trying to test if the Google Drive connector was actually being able to upload a file and then just choosing from my Google Drive, but that's not it either. So I was like, can you summarize? But I feel like linking it, Spencer, like that defeats the whole purpose of using the Google Drive one.
Yeah.
Can you summarize my folders? Let's just start there. And let's just see if it can actually, okay, so this time it's connecting. So it's doing the call, it's connecting to something, it's reading my Google Drive. So we're getting something here. I can help, but I want to make sure I do this actually. Inside Google Drive can't automatically crawl and summarize. So what can you do? Sure, identify the major folder themes. Summarize what lives in each folder and what it's used for. That's what I asked you to do.
This is a classic intern Chad move, just saying, like, I can do some busy work for you that doesn't mean anything.
He's trying to jargon his way out of this. Okay. Now we actually have some things here. Okay, so we have a client management ongoing calls here. We have all of our calls linked. We have ongoing agenda calls with our different clients. We have an asset list folder here. Some content strategy. Sweet. So this is basically what I wanted. It took a little bit of pushing to get there, but we eventually got there. I will say it'll probably work better for a lot of people listening or watching, because they're not going to have nearly as many folders, files, people, different permissions as we do. So that could very well be a part of it as well. But looks like it pulled some clusters. I don't know where else to go from here, honestly, Spencer. We might just have to move on, because I don't think it can do really anything else than this. If it can't even go in and find a file for me, this looks like the best it can get right now. I don't know if you have any ideas.
No, I had my good idea on Canva and that was a flop. So I think I say we move on. We let Google Drive cook for another quarter and we'll come back.
Listen, we have gone 0 for 3 in the live demos. But again, I didn't promise anything. I didn't say they'd be amazing. I just said they're here. So maybe we can get at least one before we end the episode. Let's do HubSpot. CRM. We're wanting to pull some data. And we're going to say, and let's just CYA here. So we say at Builder. We're going to CYA here. And we're going to look at what they put for their use cases for HubSpot. So give me a breakdown of open versus closed leads. Map the complete customer journey from awareness to purchase.
Let's do that one. I like that one. Map the complete customer journey from awareness to purchase.
How is that using our data, you think?
My guess is it would look at customers signed and then what content did they interact with, which pages did they view, how many emails did they open, maybe like commonalities among people that became customers, so that you could then try to like, oh, everyone loved this content. Now we're going to put that more in the front of our process or something.
All right, here we go. It looks like it's doing what I was afraid of.
Yeah.
Capture the right lead.
I wonder if you could prompt it, analyze, customers from the last couple of years, and I tried to identify patterns of either page views, number of emails opened, or things that led to a sale.
Patterns of things that led to a sale.
Yeah.
And then I'll put
page views, emails opened, conversion points, etc. Come on. We need one. Before we end. I've wondered about this for a long time, and I'm like, to go into every customer, look at their timeline of all the page, like that would just be a nightmare. But obviously through this method, I'm hopeful.
I'm hopeful too. And so something to keep in mind with HubSpot as well. Most of the listeners and viewers here would only have one portal anyway. But for us, since we're a marketing agency, we have multiple portals for our different clients. You can only connect one portal at a time. So we shouldn't have the issue of it cross-wiring anything. It's only connected to the Builder Funnel HubSpot portal right now, which is our own marketing. So we look here. Again, it's doing a weird thing. So it's connecting to the tool, but it's not finding anything. And then it's like, yeah, I love this question. Here's how to do that. Here's a framework that you can follow, but it's not really calling out our direct things here. So we're gonna try one more with them. We're gonna do the easiest one that they recommend, which I'm just gonna say, give me a breakdown of open versus closed deals. This is a layup. It's a layup.
Yeah, you would hope. I've seen people miss layups, Kai.
Give me a breakdown of open versus closed deals. Come on. Don't let us go over. Not live. Hey, but the appeal to everybody listening and watching here is this just shows how transparent we are. And I did, funny enough, test a lot of these before, but not these use cases. Okay. This is not right because it only says one closed deal, but it pulled something at least. But it didn't really tell me most.
Yeah, interesting.
It just found one deal, and there. So,
I think he went for the dunk and bricked it off the back of the rim.
I think we just witnessed somebody missing a layup and a dunk, and probably being cut from the league until further notice. But I think, Spencer, that's where we're going to end the episode today. And here's what I'll say. We'll go back. This is why I like ending on what's on your mind today. So the episode for the listeners and viewers out there is we connected ChatGPT into our other tools. Here's what's changed. Right now, not much, because we're not using many of these integrations, sadly. I would say I was pretty disappointed by a lot of these apps and connectors, especially with how hard ChatGPT is pushing them. I expected some bumps and bugs along the road, but I would say none of them really hit on what we were wanting. I think the best performing one was probably the Asana task, and that just pulled my task for me, but it still didn't do exactly what we wanted. So Spencer, this might be a hard one today, but it's our favorite section. We got to lift our spirits here a little bit. Even though we went over, we still got to end it on a positive note. Our
I got
PWOW,
you.
if you know, you know. What are your parting words of wisdom for this episode?
Yeah. So one thing I would say, hopefully, if you're listening to this, you're driving around, you're doing something else, even if you were listening to it on 1.5x, hopefully our process through this saved you some time to know. Don't even worry about the connectors for a little bit longer. Like hopefully you didn't waste an hour or two of your own time, and in about 20 minutes we confirmed still not there. But no, my parting words of wisdom, I think, are the AI is still like, you can't just be fully dependent on AI. And like, I know everyone's trying to use it for more and more and more, but you still, the human element is still strong and still important. And just because the connectors didn't work today, like, AI is still a super powerful tool. There's lots of great ways to use it. And I think this is just an indication of this is a process of evolving technology, and you're always going to hit a wall, and you're like, this is as far as it goes right now, and that's okay. I'll just continue to use it for all the other things. So I'm still excited about connectors. I think the apps will get there, because they're going to have tons of people like us doing just what we did today, and then giving them feedback and be like, none of this worked at all, and they probably know it too, right? They're playing around with it. So yeah, I'm still optimistic about apps, but yeah, for now, I think the takeaway is, don't worry about them for a little bit.
Yeah. First off, the fact that you could pull a phenomenal PWOW out of this I applaud you. That was great.
I'm ever the optimist, so
Yeah, I would say here, my PWOW is to start thinking about, if you don't know what your exact tech stack is, or you don't have it like outlined, start outlining your tech stack and just keep an eye on those integrations, keep an eye on those updates. I would say right now through ChatGPT, they are not the best, but if you're like, Kai, like, I need to try these right now, there are some more advanced ways you can do that through like MCP servers and Claude, which honestly, for the level that we're trying to teach at, is probably not something we're going to cover. But if you're ever interested in it, feel free to send me an email. But I would say what we did, Spencer, is possible not through ChatGPT right now, and probably not through somebody that's not very technologically savvy, because you do need a little bit of some like tech experience to set up these MCP servers, or you're going to be like me a couple weeks ago, spending your entire Saturday for 5 hours trying to make one. So whatever floats your boat. But I still feel like overall, Spencer, it's been a great episode. As always, feel free to email me, KB as in boy, IAMI @builderfunnel.com. Again, that is KBIAMI @builderfunnel.com. Send me anything, but the one prompt I'm going to give you is, if you can get any of these connectors to work, please let me know, and please tell me what you did and show some screenshots. But I think that's our episode for this week, and we will see y'all on the next one.